Weekly Watch Report. Say Weekly Watch Report to Weekly Watch Report.
Like a completely different
Weekly
jingle.
Watch Report on Wednesday. It had to be different.
That was really different,
and it
too.
was different
I don't know
and
if I liked it
funky,
as-
but not good.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Each verse had a slight different beat.
It was terrible. It was really bad. Let's just call it how it is. I'm going to redo that one.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the things we watched. All right, let's get into the Weekly Watch Report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Wednesday. Weekly Watch Report on Wednesday. Weekly Watch Report on Wednesday. Weekly Watch Report on Wednesday.
Yeah. Just, you can't stray from the original.
No, you can't. The first one was like funky and weird and,
Yeah, I don't know.
and not appealing.
You put some emphasis on different words that just didn't.
It didn't hit.
No.
It
Not like the first one.
made me feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
inside. All right, let's talk about the things we watched this week.
Yeah.
I held on to this because
Good. Although, you know what? I was just thinking that there'll be a whole new episodes of Vanderpump and
right,
the Valley.
people are getting
'cause it's
confused.
on. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk. I want to get started talking about a new show I watched on Peacock, and I just love
On the cock.
on the big cock. I didn't have to throw that in there. I started watching, or I finished watching, The Life of Pam. Now, this is based on a true story about Pam Hupp, who was a murderer, a filthy murderer, and it's starring Renee Zellweger, who looks unrecognizable.
The Thing About Pam?
The Thing About Pam. Did I say The Life About Pam?
Yes.
Sorry, I meant The Thing About.
I was just doing a quick Google because I was like, I don't know what this is.
Sorry. I meant The Thing About Pam.
The Thing About Pam.
The Thing About
yes.
Pam on Peacock.
Yep.
About Pam Hupp, the awful murderer.
Josh Duhamel.
I was going to get there.
Oh.
Renee looks unrecognizable. And then Josh Duhamel. I didn't even know it was him at first. Also looked unrecognizable.
Oh, in their character.
In their characters. I said, oh my God. You would never know it was Renee. And you would then find out it was Josh Duhamel, but he's sporting a whole new hair look in this show. I was so thrown off. But they both did an incredible job. Renee Zellweger did an unbelievable job as Pam Hupp, this filthy murderer. And Josh Duhamel did a great job as the lawyer. And I really enjoyed the show. I mean, it's hard to, this is a true story about people who were murdered
Yeah.
by this woman. But the show itself, I thought was really good. And a good adaptation of what had happened. It's always weird to rate these things because it's a real story.
Right.
But if I'm rating based off
You watched the
performance,
whole thing?
yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was 6 episodes.
It's a miniseries.
It
It actually premiered on NBC in March of 2022.
what?
You thought it was new?
That was a brand new show on Peacock.
The Thing About Pam premiered on NBC on March 8th, 2022.
You're telling me I'm a full 2 years behind on this show? The way that they're advertising on Peacock is that it's a brand new Peacock
I will
show.
say, I believe Peacock just loaded a bunch of like NBC Universal programs that were not on previously. I saw Andy Cohen post like about a lot of old Bravo shows that they just put on. So maybe they were doing that for older NBC. Not old. I mean, this is 2 years old. It's not like it's like 10 years old.
You
but
know
it's-
what? I don't even feel bad about this because it
No.
was on Peacock and it looked like a new show to me. How was I supposed to know it was back on fucking NBC in 2022?
I don't remember-
Peacock's taking it as their own, as their new show.
Yeah.
So
I also this only because I'm on the show's
Right.
Wikipedia page because I did not know about this show either.
yes, my parents watched it and they said, "Oh my God, you have to watch this show. Renee Zellweger is unrecognizable and she did such a great job."
Yeah.
And I have to agree that she did a fantastic job. I'll give the show a B-.
Oh, they filmed in New Orleans.
There you go.
Yeah.
Back, years ago.
B-.
Apparently. I'm gonna even B-.
Okay,
It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was
Yeah.
good. But it's 6 episodes.
6 episodes. Hour long or
Like 45
Okay,
minutes. I'm not gonna give it like an AA plus because but it was. I'll give it a B-. I liked it. It was good. Quick watch. Would recommend.
Good.
I thought the story was really interesting. I'd never heard about Pam Hupp before or the people she murdered. And
I don't know this story at all. So maybe I should watch.
it's interesting. She was best friends with this woman from work, and this woman got cancer, and it's hard to know exactly what their friendship was like because she murdered her.
Oh.
Pam murdered her friend from work.
Oh,
and
goodness.
then the husband was locked away because they thought he murdered. Pam kind of set it up to make it look like the husband murdered her, and it was not him. He was innocent, and he was let go, and he was proven innocent.
Wow.
And it wasn't until Pam murdered somebody else that they then
Realized
charged
it was
her
her.
for the
Both.
murder of Betsy. So yeah, it was an interesting story, and it gets a B- from me. And I thought Josh Duhamel.
Was that like the whole show?
What do you mean? It was
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler because I feel like it's not a spoiler because it's
I mean, granted, the show came out years ago at this point also.
it's
So.
a true story.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why don't I just shut up? I'll just stop talking.
No, honestly, I just that really cracked me up. That was great because I think I said, "Oh, maybe I'll watch," and then you just told me everything that happens.
I apologize. I
think I said, "Oh, I actually don't know the story."
I just took it as you wouldn't actually watch.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I thought you were just
No one listening is
That's
gonna
fair.
watch.
No, I thought you were just being nice when you said maybe
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
watch. And so I just figured it just started
Fair.
coming out of my mouth.
Fair.
I didn't think you were actually going to watch. And I apologize. I actually am sorry for that. That is what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on. I watched Brandy Melville, the documentary about Brandy Melville on Max.
I watched it too.
I just felt like I wasn't learning anything that I felt like I didn't already know about Brandy Melville and these fashion places.
I very much agree with you. I don't know if it's because like the broader public didn't know so much about Brandy Melville, but Brandy Melville was so ingrained in like it missed me a little bit, but really age-wise, but like Gia's age.
Oh, my friends and I were obsessed.
Yeah.
My best friend and I would take the train from Long Island to the city and walk to the Brandy Melville store.
I walked down Broadway in Soho last week and really could not believe that there was still a line of children waiting to get into Brandy Melville. Like 20 plus people deep to get into the Brandy Melville store. It's like, what? Why?
Right.
Why?
It's just not sustainable at this point in time. But I still follow one of the models that was on Brandy Melville all the time, Scarlett Leo, I think her last name. I still follow her on Instagram because like my friends and I were obsessed. We were just like, oh my god, we wanted to be Brandy. You know what I mean? Like they said in
a crazy fat. Like
it was a phenomenon,
almost like cultish.
And like some of the girls said in the documentary, it's like you wanted to be them. Like you wanted to be the models at Brandy Melville. You wanted to wear all the clothes. And I can remember that very vividly.
I had a friend who just worked in the store and we were like, damn, that's so cool.
Right. Like you, I remember walking around Brandy Melville with my friend being like, maybe they'll scout us to work at the store. Like as if I'm going to commute as a teenager in high school. In 10th and 11th grade to come work in the city at the Brandy Melville store.
Yeah.
Like that, like just you had these dreams, and watching the documentary, I was not so surprised by the things they were saying because I felt like that had come out a lot in recent years. Not even just about Brandy Melville, but about a lot of these fashion places.
Yeah.
Which a lot of it is extremely sad to see. But I think maybe there are some people who missed the craze of Brandy Melville, and that's why it was maybe more shocking.
Yeah. That I agree, because I think there's a lot of people who probably walked past the store, heard about it, but like it wasn't like in their lives completely like it was for, I feel, girls my age and younger.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna give that
it was fine.
I'll give that a C-.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just wasn't like, nothing was like a bomb drop to me.
Right.
But still shitty things.
Yeah.
Obviously. Obviously, you know, the big three: Summer House, Vanderpump, The Valley. I would say all three of these episodes this week weren't at the top of my
Summer
list.
House I haven't watched because I was gone this weekend, but
Summer House was focused on a little bit of Amanda and Kyle this week, more about Lindsay and Carl's non-existent sex life, which is just so uncomfortable to hear about. She's not coming, he's not coming. 2 out of 10 rating. That sounds awful. Why would you marry that? I still like Lindsay saying that she was blindsided by them not getting married. When all of these things are coming up, I'm like, where's the blindsiding happening? Because Lindsay is a sexual person. She says that herself. And Carl is very clearly not compatible. Yeah. Not compatible, suitable for a marriage, in my opinion. So that was strange, and it's being aired out on TV, and you could tell Lindsay's frustrations. That's why she's saying it. She's talking with her friends. They're drinking at the house, whatever. But just made me feel sorry for the both of them. That neither of them are being pleasured. Kyle and Amanda, you know, they can't get on the same page about what they want to do in life, where they want to move. Amanda wants to move to New Jersey, get a house, and, you know, start a family. Kyle, he does not want to do that yet, and he looked
to be in the cycle of the same.
Yeah, well, because Kyle is a man child,
right,
who can't grow up, and Kyle looked at Amanda's phone in her camera roll, and there wasn't one photo of Kyle, which is strange.
Yeah,
when you've been together for so long. Not having one photo of your husband.
Yeah, that can't be true.
You don't even have a picture of the two of you together. Yeah. That I don't know about that. Yeah. That seems
maybe he only looked at like 1 week.
Right. Maybe
1 week's worth of camera roll.
Maybe no solo pictures, just pictures of them together. I don't know, because I was like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
That does not seem possible. And if it is, I don't know what's going on there. So that was interesting. The whole season's been interesting. But this episode, you know, West wasn't there this episode. So we didn't really see much about him and Sierra. We saw them talking on the phone. I thought that was cute. Summer House gets it's just been great this season overall. This episode will get a B from me.
Fair.
B. And then The Valley and Vanderpump. I'm kind of blanking on what happened on each of them, because it seems
Vanderpump is the friggin' the Katie and Tom are dating the same person,
right? And then Ariana was crying at the I felt bad in that moment. It was about the house and all that. So Vanderpump gets a C for me. A lot of the same stuff going on.
The Katie and Tom like dating the same girl, like being in the same place with said girl, is just really weird to me. I don't like.
It kind of seems like a manufactured storyline.
Yeah.
On all of their parts.
Because it's just... Yeah, I don't know. And Tom, like, doesn't have... Tom's like, thought you liked me, but I guess you liked my wife. Like, it's like, what?
The I'm so silly act from Schwartz is it's not cute anymore.
I know.
It's so... He's dating this 23-year-old girl because he can't date somebody on his... on his...
And that's because his emotional maturity
exactly
level.
Like, it's just not cute. It's just... And it was a manufactured storyline, in my opinion. Are either of them interested in this girl, or is this just, like... You know,
right?
I don't know. And then The Valley. I'm blanking on what happened in The Valley this past week.
They went to that gala. Kristen apologized again to Michelle and Jesse. And Jesse
The Valley
was upset again.
Yeah, this episode wasn't as good to me.
Yeah. Not too much happened in this one. It felt.
I'm gonna give this one a C as well. Because it wasn't too memorable for me this week. But
clearly.
I'm ready for a new week of Bravo shows.
Yeah. We're jumping back in.
Yes.
For sure.
And I'm New Girl season 2 gets an A. Still watching New Girl every night.
So good.
Love.
Okay, I watched the Brandy Melville, the doc. I'll give a C, like meh. I have to catch up on Summer House. Vanderpump and The Valley. Vanderpump gets a C minus. I'll give The Valley a C this week. And I'm not totally caught up on Shogun. I think we just finished 7. But it is very good.
It's the best show on TV.
It is very, very good. I really enjoy it.
The new one came
So
out
I guess
today.
like 6 and 7 maybe are the last ones I haven't watched or that I've like great.
9 came out today.
I give Shogun I'll give that an A minus, but I think 9 came out today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I finished 7. So I have to watch 8 and 9.
Oh, 8. Oh, 7. Yeah, because 7 was like a setup kind of.
Yes.
8 is.
Yeah, I heard good things about 8.
Yeah.
There was a lot of discussion on the trip this weekend about 8. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody fucking ruin it for me. Abbott Elementary, I'm caught up on this new season. Was watching some of those episodes. Love Abbott is a B. I'll give it a B plus because I'll be honest, I've been kind of putting it on and like doing other things, so I'm not really fully sitting down and digesting
It's an easy watch.
as when I normally am.
One more, sorry. The Curb finale.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's on mine, too.
I'm gonna give that an A.
yeah,
Yeah.
I totally
Curb finale
just
was
remembered
great.
that. Sad.
I know.
It is sad.
I know, but I thought that like it was a good way to do
Yeah.
it. Like I liked the Seinfeld parallels and
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
It was like I thought that was really
You know, the
good.
one person I was waiting for to show up in the courtroom was Ben Stiller. Because remember the
Yes.
episodes where they, like, I was like, he's
Those are
gonna-
some of my favorite
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Are the Ben Stiller episodes? The toothpick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the episode could have been like 3 hours long if they really went down because there's just been so many
Yeah.
good like guest appearances or characters and whatnot. But they wrapped that up really nice.
Yeah,
I thought.
that was an A.
Yeah.
And the videos of them wrapping up
Yeah.
were
Oh, yeah.
so funny.
That was so
because
funny because
He's so uncomfortable.
He's just so
she's
him.
crying to
Right.
him about, like, how much he means. And he's
Yeah.
just like,
I think they all know that though.
Yeah.
Like obviously they've worked
Yeah.
with him for so long.
Yep.
They know how he is.
Exactly. I agree. I'll give that an A as well. I thought it was really good. Lot of plane watches for me. So I watched Mean Girls, the musical. Had not seen it. Watched it on the plane. Fine. Like, didn't love it. Didn't hate it. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't think it was god awful.
Right.
It was just very average. The only, like, Renee Rapp I thought was fantastic. I think she is a star, and I could feel, like, the Regina vibe from her. She plays that character so well. The girl who played Katie just, like, didn't quite do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw people talk, like, when the movie came out, I know she kind of got some hate because of just, like, vocally. They were like, she's not that great of a singer, like, to be cast as in a musical. But, you know, it was fine. I get C minus. Like, it's just very,
Womp womp.
yeah. Like, there was only certain times where, like, Renee would deliver some of the classic lines, and I was like, yes. Like, she, like, that was great. Or like some other things were changed. But it was good. And I also loved I also loved Damien. I thought he was a great character as well. I watched Anyone But You again on the plane. Love it.
It's a good plane movie.
It is. Great movie. I've graded it before. I don't really need to grade it again. And then on the way home I watched Crazy Stupid Love.
Classic.
Hadn't watched that in a while.
Run It
God,
Back.
It's just an A+
Yeah.
movie. It really is.
That's
solid
A+.
top to bottom.
Yeah.
The scene of the Ryan Gosling reveal and the every like when the David Lindhagen shows up and the whole like it's just such a great movie scene in those whatever it is like 5 minutes. Like
Yeah.
there's one moment that Julianne Moore like lets out a scream that is just so funny every time I watch it.
Cinematic masterpiece.
It really is. Great movie. And then I watched I think it's on Max. I'm not sure when it came out, but I saw it on the plane. And it was The Boy Who Lived documentary that Daniel Radcliffe did with the man, David Holmes, who was his stunt double.
Oh.
Which a lot of people don't realize. And it's kind of crazy that it wasn't like, it was discussed when it happened, but it was not like a massive, massive story. And then obviously he's telling his story now. But he, prepping for the last movie, he had an accident and is paralyzed. And it just like was him, and then, you know, Daniel is a big part of it as well, and just kind of like telling his story about, you know, how David grew up and his their relationship, and how he's kind of lived with you know, life post accident, and how the stunt coordinators and all those people like really have dealt with it all. It was really good. I'll give that an A-. Like it was it was not like a long thing. It was good, like very interesting. And obviously like it was something that I had wanted to watch and I kept forgetting about it. And so when I saw it on the plane, I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna watch this. And I love seeing Daniel Radcliffe kind of reflect on a lot of the Harry Potter stuff too. It's nice, and seems like he has such a great friendship with Dave, and they've you know stayed very close, which is nice. So that's everything I watched.
Yeah, I didn't watch much this past week. I watched the Curb finale. Well, that was last week, but give it an A. Shogun episode 8. I'll give it an A. I think you got to start watching that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how much I would
But
really
you like
love
Game
it,
of Thrones,
but I
so it's,
loved
like,
Game of
similar.
Thrones. So, yeah, I have trust issues with these kinds of shows. You know what I mean? Because I had such an attachment to Game of Thrones that it's like I need.
It's not game like
It's similar, but it's not. It's not like.
it's not like
Okay.
it's
But
just
the scale of it is
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. With like the production and everything.
And
yeah, but it's just like
Not
it's not.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's rooted in like history, not fantasy in my mind. Like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is very fantasy driven.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is like all that, like people trying to get power over.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Houses and such, I guess you could
I've been rewatching a couple episodes from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just throwing it on. Great show.
Because you liked it that
It's
much.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. So yeah, I'll give that like an A-.
Rewatching it?
Rewatch.
Just
I was
rewatching
gonna
it.
say you watched it came out like a
I
month
know.
ago.
I know. I'm running out of. I need things to watch. Like I feel like there's not much to watch.
Hey,
right
That's
now.
a bit
The
too
Thing
much
About
new
Pam.
stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
watch. I don't
although,
have.
you know.
I gotta get Peacock. I don't
Oh,
you
my
can use
God.
my login.
Okay. But yeah, that's it. I really. The one thing I'll recommend from this week. I didn't watch SNL, but Ryan Gosling hosted, and I saw
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
clip, the papyrus.
It was very funny.
Because
I
that was
thought
like
it was
one of my
funny.
favorite like videos that SNL's put out in the last like however many years. The
Yeah.
first one, and then the fact that he redid it.
Right.
So funny.
I also really enjoyed his monologue of his Taylor Swift "All Too Well"
Yeah.
song. I thought that was
And-
great with Emily Blunt.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift posted about it.
Yep.
So
When Taylor Swift posted about that, my first reaction was like, she usually doesn't post in a way that makes you think she's the one writing it.
it seemed like it was kind of written by somebody else.
Yeah. So I was like, is she writing this?
Right. Like maybe somebody said, "Hey, can we post this?" and she approved it.
Yeah. Do you
Maybe.
think she ever like physically like sends a post?
If it's
Oh, I mean, maybe like an actual post. So much of her, like, she doesn't really share that much like content.
Yeah.
I mean, that TikTok she made after the Super Bowl, I feel like that's probably like the one thing she's posted herself in
Right.
a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
It might be dangerous for her to have the logins on her phone, though. You know,
Why?
I don't know. I don't know, hacking purposes.
Compared to somebody else having it
Yeah,
on
no,
somebody
it's
else's
just-
phone.
It's true. That's
Tree?
That's
Do you
true.
think Tree has it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. She definitely
Oh, well,
does.
she
of
definitely
course.
does, of course.
Um,
Publicist, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That-
didn't
That video, I don't think we talked about Ice Spice hitting the blunt right next to
Oh
Taylor's.
yeah, I
It
mean,
was so
I
funny.
sometimes I wonder if Taylor's like, man, I wish I could just hit this blunt
That's what
right
I was
now,
saying
but
to
she
Sarah
can't.
yesterday. I was
Yeah.
like, she probably would, but everyone's watching her, so she
Right,
can't.
not-
like
you
all the
can't be
videos
that, public.
and tapes on her.
I
yeah,
feel like people would love her for that if she just started hitting a
a
blunt
lot
at
of people
Coachella.
would, but a lot of her
it
fans would
be,
not.
Yeah, that would be really mixed.
Yeah.
Really mixed.
I will say, if I was still smoking, Hailey Bieber's post would have got me fucking jumping up and down with
Oh,
the
I saw
blunt in her
that,
road
yeah.
case.
You know, like maybe for the younger generation, but the older generation would be appalled. They'd be like, "Oh my God, isn't she supposed to be a role model to our children?"
But I also feel like there would be like some younger fans too. They're like, no.
yeah.
I think it'd be a little
That's
mixed.
bad for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would be like, hell yeah. But yeah, I don't see her doing that anytime soon. But I didn't get to watch all the Ryan Gosling stuff, but I was intrigued because I think
He's really funny.
he's
just
so
so
good.
funny.
Yeah.
Like he's just really he's having a great moment right now.
Also,
Ryan
it was
Gosling.
kind of like I didn't see the promotion for him hosting SNL leading up to it.
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
It just happened, and then I'm like, is he promoting? Oh, he has that new movie coming
Fall
out.
Guy.
The
Yeah.
Fall Guy.
That's why Emily Blunt came out during the monologue.
That looks really good.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
excited.
like the whole point of you should watch the
I
monologue.
didn't watch the monologue.
Because they fight about it. Emily Blunt comes out. She's like, "Stop talking about Barbie. You're supposed to be here to promote the Fall Guy. Like Barbie, Ken's over. Like move on."
I'm excited to see that movie though. I heard good things.
It looks looks like the Nice Guys type.
Yeah,
movie.
that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't get talked about
It's
a
such
lot,
a
but
good
that's a good movie. All right, that wraps up the things we watched this week.